In this video, we are going to look at the Bitcoin dominance chart and what that could mean for a potential altcoin season that might be a similar style blow-off top that we saw at the end of the 2017 cycle. What's up guys, Dirk here from intelligentcryptocurrency.com. Welcome to the channel. If you are new here, click the subscribe button below, hit that notification bell so you do get future updates. And if you want me to send you an email every time I upload a new video, click the first link in the description down below. Sign up for my free crypto masterclass. That way you also get on my email list and I can notify you via email every single time I upload a new video. Alright, so as I'm making this video, it is August 11th, 2021. And what we're going to look at specifically is the Bitcoin dominance chart, which quite simply means the ratio of Bitcoin to all the other cryptocurrencies as a market cap, and what this means for a potential altcoin season where the altcoins can finally get the blow-off top that we'd like them to have, hopefully. So as you can see here, this is a weekly chart of the Bitcoin dominance. So just to explain real quick for those of you who haven't seen this before, the vertical lines are the previous halvings, so May 2020 and roughly July 2016. Those were the two Bitcoin halvings. Before this, obviously there was one in 2012 too, but that doesn't fit here on the chart because back in 2012 there basically weren't any altcoins, not in the way that there are now. And you can see this because for the longest period of time, basically until about early 2017, the dominance of Bitcoin was almost 100%. It was in the high 90% for the longest period of time. And that's quite simply because there was just Bitcoin and a very few altcoins. Obviously, Ethereum launched back in 2015. We had some other altcoins launched a little bit earlier, like DEBIT launched in January of 2014. But basically, for the most part, until about 2017, that is when we started seeing the ICO mania, lots of different altcoins being built on top of Ethereum, and that's when the market share started to dilute from Bitcoin into altcoins because a lot of these altcoins were relatively new. There was also a lot of ICOs, so the potential for gains in these altcoins, there was a ton of speculation of people taking their Bitcoin and moving that over into these lower cap new altcoins to be able to make much more gains than they would in Bitcoin. And as you can see, throughout the whole 2017 cycle, so the previous cycle, the dominance of Bitcoin declined from over here about 97% when it started at the beginning of February 2017 to just roughly about 35%. So this was, as you can see here, the peak of the 2017 cycle, which happened, as you can see, it only happened roughly in about the first, just past the first week of January 2018. Bitcoin peaked on 17 December 2017. Altcoins peaked about 3 weeks later, and this is when we had this huge rally over here in altcoins where they went absolutely nuts. So after this, we had the bear market from 2018 till roughly about early 2020, right? And we had this grind back up. So from 35%, the dominance of Bitcoin managed to work its way back up here to about 72%. Now that is obviously a huge run. This is when Bitcoin massively outperformed altcoins. So throughout the bear market, you would have done way better holding Bitcoin because it didn't decline as much as most altcoins, and it was one of the first to really get back to its previous all-time high. So we had this run from 35% to 72%. Then altcoins, we had like a mini altcoin season over here, basically from 2019 until about August 2020. If you look at the dominance season, then we had another Bitcoin dominance. This is when Bitcoin started to run really in about August, September of 2020. Bitcoin started to go on a massive run over here, and it once again reached a double top here of about 72%, and that is the absolute peak over here for the Bitcoin dominance. And after that, we had a massive sell-off in Bitcoin dominance, meaning altcoins gained a lot more market share compared to Bitcoin. And as you can see, this happened from about December of 2020. This was the massive run that we've had in altcoins, where we saw a lot of altcoins do 10x, 20x, 50x, there's even been 100x coins that have made that run over this period when the Bitcoin dominance was decreasing. Then, of course, we had the sell-off in May, where the whole market sold off, but obviously Bitcoin also sold off. During this period of time, we had this consolidation, this slight upwards grind here of the Bitcoin dominance, which is actually a very healthy thing because we had this massive sell-off without really any form of correction or bounce. So we've had this kind of triangle wedge over here, and usually what this means in the trend is that it's likely to be a downward continuation. You can see over here, we can draw something similar, right? We had the sell-off over here, and you could draw, we can hop over into the daily chart in a bit, but you can see over here when it creates a triangle after the trend, creates another one, and then we had a rising wedge over here that you can draw too, and then it broke down through that, and we had another sell-off for the final capitulation. So we've had this sell-off over here, we've had this kind of rising wedge triangle consolidation, and it's likely that this is going to break down and probably go to new lows. That is my guess. I've said this before a few months ago. I think it's likely that this time around for the cycle peak, we are actually going to see below these lows. And the reason for that, quite simply, is there are a lot more altcoins in the market now than there were before, and there's also a lot more participants in the market that are probably going to speculate on altcoins. So as a result, if a lot more money flows into altcoins, it means the Bitcoin dominance is going to go even lower than where it was last time. How much lower? I'm not too sure. I think we'll go into the 20% before this cycle is over, but it may actually even be possible that we go below 20% dominance for Bitcoin at the very peak of this current bull market cycle. Now, as you can see, we are currently at 45%, so there's a long way down to go. And this last stretch over here, when we went from basically 67% to 35%, this was the very peak of the entire cycle for altcoins, right? And you can see over here, this happened in a period of just over a month, about 6 weeks. And during this last period, that is when we saw the blow off top in altcoins. That's when we saw them go absolutely nuts, when we're seeing 10, 20, 30x, 50x, even more on certain altcoins as a blow off top. Now, obviously, when it was done, it completely reversed, and most altcoins lost more than 90%, some of them even 99%. Some of them completely disappeared and went out of business throughout the bear market. So keep that in mind. Even if we get an insane blow off top for this cycle, potentially in the next 5 to 12 months, 6 to 12 months, something like that, maybe if the 4-year cycle is still on track by the end of the year, December or January, maybe if it's lengthening cycles, maybe somewhere towards the middle of 2022. Personally, I'm still leaning towards the end of the year, December or January, for a cycle peak top, but it could extend. So we'll have to take it a week at a time, a month at a time as it develops. But keep this in mind, and you're going to see me warning more and more about this as we continue into the cycle, as we get closer and closer to the end of the year. If this plays out in the way that I think it's going to play out, and we are going to get that massive blow off top, that is very likely, in my opinion, going to be the cycle peak top. And after that peak is done, the blow off top could be huge. Like I said, 10, 20, 30x, 50x, 100x, maybe in the last month or so, in the last 4 to 6 weeks of the cycle. But after that, once again, I do think the whole market is going to drop 80, 90% for altcoins, maybe even more than 90%. And I think that many of these altcoins are not going to survive another 4-year cycle. So we'll make another video about that in future. But basically what I'm trying to say here is if that happens, be very careful. Have your exit strategy ready. Don't forget to remove initial capital. Don't forget to take profits on the way up for your altcoins, obviously on the way down for the Bitcoin dominance. Because once it's over, we already had a taste of this in the May sell-off, the market can drop very quickly once the party is over. You can see in a period of a week or 2 weeks, the entire market can drop by 50%. And I suspect that this time, after this peak is done, that it's not going to be as forgiving as the one we had in May, where we actually might see this higher high now at the end of the year. After this one is done, that's coming, I think that is probably going to be it. We're going to see a massive decline and maybe a multi-year bear market once again, where we see at least 1, maybe 2 or 3 years of bear market massive decline. So you will want to be careful. Of course, I don't know when exactly it's going to top or how it's going to play out, but just I'm warning you guys, this is probably going to be the last cycle peak top, blow off top. If we get that, be sure to protect your capital and have your exit strategy in place. So before we wrap things up, you can see over here, if this were to break down, right, and the trajectory over here, remember this is a weekly chart. So if this goes to somewhere, let's just say 28%, 25%, somewhere around here, you can see the date over here. Let me put a vertical line. If we're looking at the end of the year for a potential blow off top, maybe even maybe even somewhere, let's just say middle January. That's somewhere over there, and you can see how that would actually line up towards a potential blow off phase over here. We could see all sorts of variations. I mean, we could go a little bit sideways and then do something like that. There's all sorts of different options, but either way, before the end of the year, I'm suspecting that this Bitcoin dominance is probably going to break down. If that happens, all the things I said in this video, keep an eye out for that. Have your exit strategy ready, because once it's over, you can see it can go down very, very quick. So as always, I would love to know what your thoughts are in the comments after watching this video, after hearing me present what I think is going to happen. Leave a comment down below. Let me know, what do you think? Are we going to get this sell-off in the Bitcoin dominance? Are we going to get a massive altcoin blow off top towards the end of the year in December or January? Do you think it's going to be a lengthening cycle where maybe it extends by another 6 months towards the middle of 2022? What do you think is going to happen? Leave a comment down below. And guys, just another note, if you want to learn more from me, if you want to know how crypto works, if you need more help to navigate this bull run, and you want my personal support and guidance too, and access to our 1,000+ member community, Intelligent Cryptocurrency, then you should consider signing up today. It is the second link in the description down below. You can join us today, absolutely risk-free, 60-day money-back guarantee. You can get access to all my training, my tutorials, my monthly newsletter that I write, my monthly video update for members only. You get access to our private members only forum for support and guidance and more updates on a literal daily basis. So look, most people wait until the very end of the bull run, when things go absolutely nuts, when things go parabolic, before they want to get interested and before they want to learn. So really the best time to get involved still is now, before things go absolutely nuts. I have closed the membership before, and I will close it again towards the end of the year when I think things are getting a little bit too crazy. That's when I'm going to stop accepting new members. So I don't know how long I'm going to keep it open for. Right now it is still open. You have the chance to join absolutely risk-free. Second link in the description. Come and join us. If you're not happy within the first 60 days, just let us know. You get a full refund on your membership. Absolutely no hassles. But the time to get involved and to learn about it and to position yourself is now. Please don't wait until it's too late later in the year. Thanks for watching. As always, please smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.